Okay, so the Detroit Lions clinched a playoff spot with the week win 14 game against the Green Bay Packers, essentially eliminating them from the division title. They're not done yet, but they're right on the cusp of being done. All it would take is a Lions win or a Packers loss, and the Green Bay Packers will be either the 5th, 6th, or 7th seed. So the Detroit Lions, the game yesterday was absolutely giant for the Detroit Lions. 4 games left. They've now won 11 in a row, right? 11 games in a row. They have swept the division series against the Packers for 2024. They also are 5-1 over the past 3 years against the Packers. I believe we beat them Aaron Rodgers last year. That was Aiden Hutchinson's rookie year when he picked them off in the end zone. We beat them that time. We beat them also to put them out of the playoffs. We should have beat them twice last year. We beat them in Lambeau in 2023. We lost the one on Thanksgiving. This year we swept them. So we are 5-1 over the past 3 years against the Green Bay Packers. So they have now dropped to 9-4. They essentially are going to have to get in the wild card round. That's what they're going to have to do. The Detroit Lions have clinched a playoff spot. There are only now 6 playoff spots available in the NFC, and the Detroit Lions are the number 1 seed as of now. This win was big because it helps keep some distance between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions, who still are not getting the respect that they deserve. It's really annoying. So I'm hoping that the Carolina Panthers do the unthinkable and upset the Philadelphia Eagles. We shall see. But what is it looking like for the going forward, right? For the Detroit Lions. Let's bring this in here. I think I got a little bit of recovering from yesterday. All right. So, Philadelphia Eagles, here's what's going to happen as we head into the rest of week 4. No matter what happens on Sunday, the Detroit Lions are secure in the 1st seed. Had they lost to the Green Bay Packers, it would have been dually devastating. I just made up that phrase. It would have been dual devastation. Not only would it have been triple devastation, really. It would have been a division loss, it would have been a conference loss, and it would have been a loss, period. So with a Eagles win over the Carolina Panthers, the Eagles would have now gone to the number 1 seed. Now, I saw a graphic yesterday that with a win last night, the Detroit Lions now have a 76% chance to claim the 1st seed. All right, 76. Had they lost, it would have dropped down to 45. The Eagles would have had a 42. So at that point, it would have been like whoever loses the next game. But we won. We don't have to worry about that. So no matter what happens, we will be the 1st seed heading into week 15. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, they play a team that can beat them next week. I forgot who it is, but then they finish the season in not in this order per se, but 3 division games. I do not think that the last 3 weeks of the season, the division will be on cruise control. I just don't. Division games are tough. They are tough, man. It doesn't matter what record your division team has. They're going to play you as hard as possible. So they play the Commanders, they play the Giants, and they play the Dallas Cowboys all the last 3 weeks of the season. There is a game that they can win, a game that the Eagles play that they can be beat. I think it's in week 15. All right. So how big was this game? The Detroit Lions will remain the 1st seed no matter what. All right. For the Packers, it basically dooms them to a wild card. The Packers could theoretically, if the Lions drop the next 4 and they win the next 4, the Lions could still drop the division. So the Packers are not done yet, but now there's no head-to-head. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no tiebreakers. We have swept them. So if we wound up with the same record, then we would go, right? Once the Lions get 13 wins or the Packers get 5 losses, then that dream is shattered. The Commanders, so here's how it looks like it's going to, right now, here's how it would face up heading into the week 14. And I think for the most part, this playoff picture is going to look just like this. The Eagles are probably securely in second, is the 2nd seed. They would have to have colossal fall off to drop any further. As you can see, they are 3 wins ahead of the nearest team, right? So the Eagles are probably securely, this seed here is going to be either the Detroit Lions or the Philadelphia Eagles. One of these teams will have the first seed. All right. So right now, we know that the Eagles are guaranteed not to drop any further. Like, not guaranteed, but it's almost there. Almost there, because they win one more game and it's pretty much there. Okay. So that means the Eagles would have to face the Washington Commanders, and that's going to be a game. That's going to be a game for real. The Green Bay Packers would then face the Seahawks. That's going to be a game. I think the wild card, man, would be, and then Kirk Cousins having to host his old team, and they go in here. The Falcons go into their U.S. Bank Stadium this Sunday. So that's a game we'll be doing live on Lions Syndicate at 1 o'clock. So how is this looking that it could match up? Okay. This seed here will be either the Eagles, and I know I'm redundant, but I have to keep saying this. This seed here will be either the Lions or the Eagles. All right. The Washington Commanders are pretty much, they could move up to probably 6. So the Eagles will probably host the Commanders or the Packers, right? Now, everybody was talking about a Packers-Lions rematch. All I saw is everyone on the networks and that these teams are probably going to meet again. This is a way it could happen. If the Packers wind up winning their first round and they are the 6th seed, they're going to come to Detroit for round 3 in the division game. All right. Now, if the Commanders keep the 7th seed and they somehow upset the Eagles, then they are going to come to Detroit. So it's looking like without the Vikings could fall down as well. They could fall down. It's a lot. I think the Packers and Vikings play each other one more time. So they could fall down. So the Detroit Lions are probably going to host either the Packers or the Commanders in the divisional round. All right. With an off chance that it's the Vikings if they fall off a cliff. So that is what it's looking like for the Detroit Lions. They are also, then you take that, let's say, so then they win. That means that the Eagles would have to be upset. Okay. If the Eagles don't get bounced out in the first round, then the Lions and them would meet in the NFC title game. Right. But the Eagles would have to win against the Commanders or the Packers. All right. Then they would have to beat the winner of the Falcons and then the Falcons and the Vikings. The Lions would not meet the number 2 seed until the NFC title game. So we're not going to see the Eagles until then. But the Lions will get home field advantage no matter what happens throughout the playoffs. So the game was big for the Detroit Lions. This week, we are rooting for the Carolina Panthers, which I think they have an upset in them. I really do. Bryce Young is getting super confident. I'm not sure Devontae Smith will be back in, but either way, the Carolina Panthers will have their hands full. But that's what we're looking for. Let me know your thoughts down below.